they are Protestant. So you also see it reflected in colours, because the colours are for Roman Catholics are green, white and orange, or green, white and gold. It's the flag of Ireland, and the flag for the Protestants is red, white and blue, the Union Jack, or the Union flag of Ireland. So once you go into those areas, they tend to put up, especially at this time of year, they tend to put up flags to show you who lives there. And if you're not from there, well, really they're saying you shouldn't be there. And that's what you'll see. First of all, we'll take a little drive around Belfast, and then we'll head up into, not very far, out of the city centre. I see it's starting to rain a little bit, perhaps. We may be lucky and avoid most of the rain. Where we are now on our left-hand side, that building was the Harbour Commissioner's office. And this was downtown Belfast at one time. Of course, the main thrust of Belfast 100 years ago was exporting and importing. So this was the centre of Belfast at one time. But as trends changed from the Industrial Revolution, people are now working mostly in the service industries, and most of the industry has moved to the Far East, in particular China, I guess, nowadays. But originally it moved to India just after the Second World War, a lot of the textile production. So, but Belfast is still a thriving town. There's still plenty of work in Belfast. Up until about the economic downturn about 2 years ago, there was zero unemployment in Belfast. We only had about 4% unemployment, and that's taking into account that people who won't work or can't work. Nowadays it still is only about 8% unemployment in Belfast. It's a city of about 500,000 people, and in the greater Belfast area, not very big by modern standards, but at the same time it's a reasonable sized city. And we're heading into what would be our rush hour in Belfast. In 1998, a peace deal was agreed whereby we would move forward through what is called the peace process. The building on your right hand side is the tax office. It's a VAT office. It was built by a very famous man called Sir Charles Lanyon, who was the most famous architect in Belfast in the mid-19th century. The building on your left, we're not a very high city, is Belfast's tallest building. It's called the Oval, short for obelisk. And here we have on our left-hand side what is the Lagan River. There's a lot of words in Belfast and, of course, Northern Ireland have an Irish connection. The word Lagan means hollow, and the word Belfast comes from a ford that was out on your left-hand side. The Irish for ford was Bel Forsad, the mouth of the ford, and that's anglicised, which is where you get the word Belfast from. There's a fish on your left-hand side, just here now, and it's a salmon, and that's signifying the regeneration of the river Lagan. They put the swear in 1994 to keep the water at an artificial height so that people could live along the river. When I was a boy, this was the heart of Belfast. This is where the ships used to come up into, and you would get most people went out of Belfast from this point. However, they cleaned the river up and they put it to an artificial height to keep it a lot prettier, to stop it smelling. And now people